Good afternoon. Uh, Pleased to be joined here today by Lieutenant Governor Guadagno, by my partner in New York, Governor Cuomo. Governor Cuomo and I have just taken a tour of the damage inside. Obviously, an extraordinary tragedy. We pray for the family of the one fatality that we have confirmed for her and for her family. We now have a revised total of injured. We had 108 injured in this accident, and all of those have been evacuated to local hospitals where they're receiving the care they need. We pray for their recovery. The engineer who was operating the train was also critically injured. He is at a local hospital and cooperating with law enforcement officials in the investigation. What we know is that this train came in at a high rate of speed into the station and crashed through all of the barriers, bringing it right to the interior wall of the Hoboken terminal. Extraordinary reaction from local law enforcement and EMS, along with civilian passengers who assisted EMS and local police and state police in evacuating the trains as quickly as possible and helping with the triage of the passengers who were injured and getting them immediately to local hospitals for them to receive health care. There'll be others who will speak today about some of the specifics. Commissioner Hammer, Mr. Prendergast from the MTA, about the specifics of commuting both this afternoon and tomorrow. We won't address that specifically. Both Governor Cuomo and I come from a law enforcement background, as does the Lieutenant Governor. My admonition when I was U.S. Attorney all the time to my prosecutors and agents was, don't jump to conclusions, let the facts lead you to the proper conclusions. And so we're not going to speculate about the cause of the accident. The fact is that we're in the midst of an investigation. I was called by the White House today as well. They have not only dispatched the NTSB and the Federal Railway Administration, but also have pledged any resources that we need additionally to deal with the victims or to deal with what's happened here at the Hoboken terminal. We were pleased to get that call. As I said to a number of you earlier today, from the time that the incident happened this morning, Governor Cuomo and I have been in communication since the train began its journey today in the state of New York, and we have a number of New York citizens who were on that train as well, coming here to New Jersey. And so we're going to work together to make sure that the investigation is seamless and coordinated, that we come to a conclusion as quickly as possible, and then if there are steps that need to be taken thereafter to provide for even greater assurance of safety for the people of our states, you can be assured that we'll work together through the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, MTA, and the New Jersey Transit to make sure that that occurs. And so we pray for the victims and their families. We are on the scene. We're going to continue to monitor what's going on. We have engineers that are examining the structural integrity of the building now. We have no estimate as to when the terminal will be able to be reopened, except to say that it appears that the PATH terminal, the structural integrity there is fine, and so that PATH trains will be able to use the terminal. As for the New Jersey Transit portion, we don't have an estimate yet on that, and we're going to need some time to do that. So I want to turn this over to Governor Cuomo. We'll also have Commissioner Hammer and MTA Director Prendergast to make some comments, and then Governor Cuomo and I will come back to take on-topic questions. Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank Governor Christie and his entire team for their outstanding response to this tragedy. Thank the Lieutenant Governor for being here and all the first responders. We know what happened. We don't know why it happened. As Governor Christie said, the train obviously came in at too high a rate of speed. It didn't stop. It went through the barriers. When you see the destruction up close, the silver lining is that there's only been one fatality thus far, because the destruction really is significant, and the power of the train coming in is obviously devastating in its impact. The 100 injured and the fatality and the critically injured, we remember them in our prayers, and we hope that there is only one fatality and it stops there. The NTSB will do a full investigation as to what happened exactly, and we'll let the facts speak for themselves. If there's something to learn from those facts after that investigation, then we will be sure to learn it and incorporate that lesson. The Commissioner Hammer and MTA Chairman Prendergast are working very hard, hand in glove, in a seamless approach where New Jersey Transit is working with the MTA, is working with PATH, is working with the Port Authority to expedite tonight's commute and tomorrow's commute, because, as the governor said, there's structural damage to the station itself, and we don't yet know how long that damage will take to repair or what the consequence of that damage. I would like to applaud all the first responders who did a magnificent job once again. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to say these are difficult times over these past weeks and months. Between terrorist attacks, natural disasters, we have had our hands full in this country. We've had our hands full in the Northeast. I want to thank the Linden Police, who did an extraordinary job in apprehending Rahami in connection with the Chelsea bombing. And they really did a fantastic job, and I want to thank the coordination and the cooperation of our neighbors and partners in making that happen. Today is another situation for us to deal with, but I also believe as many challenges as Mother Nature sends us or our enemies send us, we are up to handling them. We'll handle them one at a time, but when we work together, there is nothing that we can't accomplish and nothing that we can't overcome. And we're going to do that with today's tragedy as well. With that, I'll turn it back to Governor Christie.